Hi everyone, and welcome back to Pass IELTS Plus. Today, we're diving into a common IELTS speaking topic, making a promise to someone. Make sure you stick around until the end because I'll be sharing some fantastic sample answers for part 3. And hey, if you want more top-notch IELTS speaking tips, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Let's start with part 2. The cue card is, describe a time you made a promise to someone. Here's my take. A time I made a significant promise was when I assured my younger sister that I would help her prepare for her university entrance exams. She was feeling extremely anxious about them, and seeing her so stressed, I promised that I'd support her every single step of the way. I felt this promise was deeply important because she was under immense pressure, and I wanted her to know she wasn't alone and had my genuine support. More than that, keeping this promise was my way of showing her that she could always rely on me, no matter what challenges came up. Fortunately, I was able to keep my word. We set up a regular study schedule and worked together consistently. I won't lie, it was unbelievably challenging at times, juggling my own commitments. But I stuck with her right until her exams were completely over. The moment we found out she had passed with flying colors, I was absolutely over the moon with pride and happiness. This whole experience really reinforced for me that promises are not just empty words. They are solid commitments that build and strengthen trust. In any relationship, whether it's with family, friends, or even at work, the ability to keep your promises is truly the foundation of genuine trust and mutual respect. Now, let's move on to some typical Part 3 follow-up questions. First question, why is trust so fundamental to human relationships and society? Well, trust is the glue that holds everything together. It allows people to cooperate effectively, communicate openly, and feel secure with one another. Without it, relationships can quickly break down, and society itself can become chaotic and unpredictable. For example, even simple, everyday actions like lending a friend some money or sharing personal information are entirely dependent on a baseline of trust. Next up, are people more or less trustworthy today compared to previous generations? That's a debatable and interesting question. On one hand, you could argue that modern technology makes it easier for people to break promises anonymously or from a distance. However, on the other hand, there's a growing emphasis in many parts of society on transparency and accountability, which can actually encourage more honesty and reliability. Another great question. How do cultural differences influence the way promises are viewed? Cultures definitely have different perspectives. In some cultures, a promise is treated almost like a sacred obligation, and breaking it is a serious matter. In others, promises might be seen a bit more flexibly, depending on the circumstances. For instance, in certain collectivist societies, breaking a promise could bring shame not just to the individual, but to their entire family, which adds a whole other layer of responsibility. And finally, what are the ethical considerations if someone finds it difficult to keep a promise? From an ethical standpoint, the best course of action is to be honest and upfront. They should communicate clearly, explain the situation that's making it difficult, and do so as soon as possible, rather than just disappearing or making up flimsy excuses. Ethically, it's far better to admit you can't fulfill a promise than to mislead someone who is depending on you. And that's all we have time for in today's IELTS speaking practice. I hope you found these model answers helpful. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to Pass IELTS Plus for more expert strategies and sample answers. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.